Welcome back to another episode of the Family Album. I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
Last week, you heard our family meeting on DJ Roswell's None of This Is Real.
Yeah, an album that I'm quite fond of, and I was very intrigued to hear you listen to it.
Yeah.
I think it offered a lot of great things, but also as an album listen, I wouldn't listen to it actively.
Yeah, very cool experiment. If you haven't listened to that episode or that album, go check them out.
Definitely.
But speaking of cool albums, we got a couple of them on this week.
Yeah, we have some albums on this week, don't we?
That we do. Both of them, I think, are pretty good.
One of them is pretty good, and the other one is also pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
I called it.
Much like Mercurial World before we started recording, I was trying to like red herring. I was trying to red herring AJ into thinking that I didn't like the Turnstile album. I did. I very much did, actually.
It's hard to not like. There's something for everyone on that album.
I would say so. Absolutely.
And I guess to clarify, we're talking about Glow On by Turnstile and
Heard Noises by Matt Berry.
Two very different albums, but two pretty fucking good ones.
I would say so, yeah. Oh my God.
So Matt, would you like to start with first this week?
Ooh, let me think. That's tough because I actually really like both of the albums a lot.
I'll say Turnstile is shorter if that like means anything.
I know, but all right, actually, yeah, we can do Turnstile first, I guess.
All right, word.
That does not dictate that I like the album like less than Heard Noises. I do like this album.
But let's dive in with a little bit of history then, shall we? So Glow On by Turnstile was released August 27th, 2021 on Roadrunner Records and is the third studio album by hardcore punk band Turnstile. The band formed in 2010, and at the time of this album's release, the lineup consisted of Brendan Yates on vocals, Franz Lyons on bass, Brady Ebert and Pat McCrory on guitar, and Daniel Fang on drums. However, Brady Ebert has since left the band. Glow On was critically acclaimed upon release for its accessibility and innovation within the hardcore genre, blending their harsh sound with different musical influences including shoegaze, psychedelic, samba, emo, R&B, and many more. The success of this album has led to more mainstream success for the band, and even got them a slot as an opener for Blink-182 during their 2023 tour. And I can safely say they fucking earned it because this album is fantastic.
I would wholeheartedly agree. The genre bending on this album is remarkable.
It's crazy. You would never expect some of these combos, but they work so fucking well.
Because, okay, a little bit of Matt story.
Oh, let's go.
So Holiday, I have heard many times.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend who is also another friend of Fataday, who every single time they would see Fataday when we all went to school together, he'd be like, "And it's a Fataday," which somehow did not ruin my opinions of the song because the song is really good. I'll get there, but
it was also in a Taco Bell commercial.
I did not know that.
Yeah, which was pretty fucking cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, but this album's awesome. I mean, like my coworkers have played it at work a couple of times because I have a coworker that like really likes this album, and I've heard the intro a lot, but it's a good ass time, like especially when you just continue through.
Oh yeah, you're never gonna be bored listening to this album.
Before we continue through, though, we have to start.
That's a really good point. So let's start off with the opening track, "Mystery," which I think is a fantastic opener.
It's really good.
Really sets the tone, kind of showing you, I guess, like both sides of what this album has to offer, with kind of like the more mellow, like ethereal synth lead in that almost acts as a motif throughout this entire album.
I would say so, yeah. It kind of like bookends it, and then it like appears a little bit toward like the latter half. I love how fucking explosive it gets right after the synth.
It's like an anthem, man. It's so good.
I compared not the sound, but I compared the energy to like the opening of a Van Halen album.
Gotcha.
Just the pure fucking like rock energy. And like the most perfect guitar tones.
I know.
I have never heard like a modern rock album sound that good in terms of its guitar tones. You don't really get that a lot these days.
Yeah. Like everything is just like perfectly mixed, and just like every like tone or kind of effect they apply just serves the song so fucking well. And here's no exception.
Especially when they genre bend into like other areas, and oh my God, it gets so good.
And we'll get there.
Yeah, no, it is a fantastic opener. I think it sets the tone perfectly. Every single time I hear the intro, I think it's Flutes of Chi by Ween.
I can see why.
And I'm always just like,
lead in.
I'm always like, wait, I didn't put on a Ween album. What?
And then the fucking drop happens.
It's so cool though. It's jarring and like not even jarring. It's just like in your face, punching you in the face in like the perfect way. I love it.
And even though like it punches you like in the face, but like in a perfect way, like the vocals like aren't really like super harsh either. Like they're
No.
loud, but they're not like the kind of like guttural metal vocals that like are, I guess, associated with like more modern metal now. So it's like really cool kind of hearing like this kind of like dissonance almost, and like how like well they're able to blend everything together.
And not only that, like it doesn't sound weird when the lead singer, what's his name again?
Brendan Yates.
Brendan Yates.
Mhm.
It doesn't sound weird when they do much slower and like softer stuff.
Mhm.
Like his voice can adapt really well to the instrumental too. So,
And it's cool because like the volume still like kind of stays consistent,
Mhm.
but like the music is like very different, and like but it still works very
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
no, it's fucking tight, man. And when he belts,
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that like old-timey rock artist like fucking
Like that energy.
vocal crunch and
Yeah.
energy. I really fuck with it. It's a great opener.
I agree. And I think it's followed up by a really fucking good track.
I would say so. Oh my God.
Blackout is so fucking good.
God, like one thing about this album that I love is that they kind of do like a little bit of like an 8-bit percussion thing
Yeah.
sometimes.
Mhm.
I really fuck with that a lot. It's not so much on this track. It's like a little bit on this track where they mix the kit with that.
Boom, ba-doom, boom, ba-ba-ba-boom, ba-doom,
But
boom,
it's so cool. It's like the last thing I expected on like a fucking like hard rock album was fucking Get Got by Death Grips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's such a cool like
I know.
mesh, you know? It's like this was such a cool listen like with this track because I feel like it is one of the tracks that like perfectly encapsulates like it's hard rock in this modern age,
Mhm.
but it's really polished.
Yeah.
Like real polished and not in like an obnoxious way.
It's very accessible.
Yeah.
Which is definitely like a big thing that like this album has been credited for, because like they were saying that the hardcore scene was like kind of like not very approachable, but then this album kind of came out and now it's like the poster child of like of the hardcore genre now. It's like listen to this to get into more, which is really fucking cool.
No, it really is. And like I think what I loved about this was I listened on Spotify.
Mhm.
And I love with Spotify with like semi-popular artists, they show like snippets.
Yeah.
And seeing a bunch of people fucking mosh to
Oh,
the
yeah,
song
dude.
is kind of baller. Not gonna lie, like
Especially during the breakdown towards the end. That's such a satisfying moment.
it's so good.
I love that.
This album paced itself really, really well.
And it's short too. It's 34 minutes.
Oh yeah, no.
It flies fucking by just because like how much just energy is like all over this thing.
Again, the tones and the guitars on this track are amazing.
Mhm.
And also like it's the perfect for like the type of work that I do. It is the perfect like music to listen to when you just need to keep your energy up.
Oh yeah, dude. It'll help that the clock just fucking go by.
It's
great.
fantastic. Quite literally today. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually.
I think musically, I just love the instrumental of this song. I also love the transition from Mystery into here.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
the seamless transition.
They're perfect. Like there's a lot of those on this album, which I really love production wise. Here's a very good example of that. I just love like how heavy the guitars are, just like how they sound, both like within like the verses and the choruses, and especially on the drop. Like that, it's so fucking nasty when they come in on the halftime.
The bass line also goes really,
Yeah,
really hard on
man.
this one and on another one. But oh my god, this track is insane.
Hmm.
Yeah, they not only know how to write good songs, but also just like have such a synergy with one another when they
Yeah.
play.
And they're surprisingly good at like writing hooks too.
Yeah,
Yeah, as we will see. But yeah, Blackout's a great follow up.
it is wonderful.
Next up, we have "Don't Play," which really grew on me.
It is my favorite one on
I
this
can
track.
see why, dude. The fucking piano
It's
with that samba
so
break.
Awesome.
I love it.
Now, you said it grew on you. Was there something about it in the like before that you weren't like that fond of, or was
Wasn't-
it?
Not like so much that I wasn't fond of it, more so I guess kind of like just got like lost in the mix.
I get that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, there is a lot of good stuff here,
Yeah.
so I can very much see that.
Mhm.
But yeah, right away when I heard like the hook of this, I was like, oh, we're fucking in.
Exactly.
We are fucking in.
Like all those breaks between like the choruses and the verses, they're so fucking good, letting the piano just shine. And also just the way they play with rhythm all over this track is so impressive. I also love the inclusion how they have the ride bell accenting on the main melody. That's fucking great. And they also have like hand claps on like the second verse. They just like kind of throw a lot of shit into the mix, but it always like works out and just like makes you just hype the fuck up. It's so good.
there is like a dance rock element to this track that I really fuck with. The
Yeah.
bass line is ridiculous.
It's awesome.
Oh my god, the guitar solo on this track is just insane,
Mhm.
and then the drums, nuts, absolutely nuts.
They're great.
Like, oh my god, I think this one, the chorus definitely like sticks with me the most.
Hmm.
Also, his vocals just, oh my God.
They're excellent.
They really are.
And there's another fucking disgusting halftime drop with some nice open hi-hat and that filthy fucking guitar riff. I also love like how the style of the guitar solos sound almost like kind of classic rock in terms of like the guitar tone. And like, but like combined with like the other like metalcore stuff in here, it's like just kind of a nice kind of change of pace. It's very cool.
It's just a really good time. This one was an immediate playlist ad for me. There's a few of them actually on here that I added.
I can see why.
And what's cool is I was able to add to like 4 different playlists that have different vibes. And I think that's what the real testament to like this album experience is. Like they really do make something for like every kind of vibe.
Literally.
But like so tonally consistent that it's impressive.
I know. It's in such like a condensed package too.
I will be listening to this again.
Hell yeah, man.
I listened to it twice today.
I can see why. It never gets old.
At time of recording. Not
at time of recording.
Yeah, that's true. Yesterday.
Yes, before this episode goes out, of course. Yes.
Naturally.
Next up, we slow things down with Underwater Boy. This one's dope as fuck. Some nice like shoegazy ambient, but still keeping up the energy with that 16th note hi-hat beat.
I love it. It reminds me of like Arctic Monkeys because not so much like the sound per se, but more like having just a really like chill vibe after a super like fucking chaotic vibe. There's a song called Riot Van in the middle of one of their albums that like very much paces the album to make it not so much like British like you know post-punk. But this is fucking awesome. I love it. I really fuck with the guitar tones on this one. Like they're super. I don't even know how to describe them.
They're like ethereal. Is probably the best way to say it. It does sound like it. They do kind of like blend themselves to like the old like underwater motif of the song as well, which is really cool. Also, the bass line is awesome. Just those accented upbeats are so fun.
It's so awesome. Like. And it's still heavy in parts too.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing about it too. Like
during the pre-choruses.
But it feels like it leans more into like the indie sound, which is like super cool.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Oh my gosh. Like still it's soft enough to make the album pace itself well and give you a little bit of a breather, but like it still has enough punch to make it
to keep the energy going.
And to remind you like who they are. You know what I mean? Like
it doesn't lose its identity.
It's really fucking cool.
I also really dig like the sound effects they have, just kind of like peering through the channels as well. Really just adds to the overall tone. The chorus just fucking chugs too. I just love like the syncopation of like the lyrical delivery of Underwater Boy itself. And then Julian Baker, I like his vocals. They have like a nice variety. He has like the high pitch part, which is really, really cool. There's also a really nice solo that has some like wind chimes that helps transition back into the verses, which is nice. And I believe one of the members, I think it might have been the drummer, made the music video for the song.
Oh, that's really cool.
And it's like all animated, almost kind of like Xavier Renegade Angel.
Oh wow,
the Adult Swim show.
I've never seen that.
It's something. I've never seen like the show itself, but I know like the art style, and it reminded me of like this music video.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I will have to check it out.
It's pretty neat.
This track is also a playlist ad. I don't know. Did I say that already? I might have said that already. Yeah, it's on one of my playlists.
Makes sense.
I have like a nighttime like chill boy playlist, and
the Underwater Boy has joined the chill boy.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's all I really have to say about it. It's very good. We're about to be 5 tracks in, and it's still like at this point, even in 2 listens, held my attention. So
we love to see it.
I'll take it.
Next up, we have Holiday. This is one of my favorites on the album. One of the big singles for a reason.
I would definitely understand why. I mean, like the way that it gets like so quiet and then just fucking explodes on, oh, it's a holiday.
Oh, that riff is also just so fucking good, man.
So creative. Yeah, the fucking my friend used to be like, it's a Saturday. It's funny.
It's a good bit.
It is a pretty good bit.
I really like the syncopation of his lyrics on the song. They're so satisfying in both the verses and the choruses, where he has almost this kind of like rap like style going in on the verses. Before going into like the halftime, just the more traditional like hardcore sound in the choruses, it just flows like really fucking well. And each section has so much energy, but for like different reasons.
It's really cool with this one because like the heavy hits on the drums just do like this really cool thing where like somehow it almost feels like they're getting like heavier and heavier as it continues the song. Like with each hit, like you can just feel the fucking energy on here.
Especially during the bridge when it like builds back up into the choruses and you just hear that bass drum just getting louder and louder.
It's wild. This song is adrenaline. Like straight up this. I mean, this whole album could be, but this song in particular, like, Oh my god.
This is a frequent run on the treadmill song for me.
The fucking like subdivided tom hits.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. That's so cool. Like at the end of the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love just the way that it doesn't feel like you're trying to just like chug through it either. Like it just, you enjoy every second of the adrenaline it gives you.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's great.
Next up, we have Humanoid, Shake It Up. This one's pretty fun. I dig all like the different sections that it has and how it kind of like differentiates the identity pretty clearly from Humanoid to Shake It Up.
Mm-hmm.
Having this like more just kind of like straight ahead, kind of punky riff in the beginning before kind of switching it up to like the more halftime, less straight ahead metal stuff that we've heard before on Shake It Up. It's short and sweet, but it goes pretty hard.
I literally wrote short but sweet as well. This is like one of a few short ones. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that's like 1:40. I forget how long this one is though. This one's cool because they really just go all out with like whatever sounds they can get out of their guitars.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Like the distortion traveling through the channels, that part's awesome.
And then the fucking like post-punk instrumental, but like glitchy sounding. Like I can't even tell if it's like synth or guitar. Like it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like what's so cool about that too is like humanoid is just such like a sci-fi sounding word.
Yeah.
And I think that really kind of adds to that having like a little bit of like a robotic sounding like synth.
Mm-hmm.
I just did the robot in studio.
It was pretty glorious, I'm not gonna lie.
My bones broke.
Dude, it was worth it. That was a fucking good robot.
You must suffer for your art.
As we've learned.
We gotta shake it up.
Yes.
This humanoid has to shake it up every once in a while. This is also a really, really good track.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun to just kind of like break up like what we've been hearing. Just like a nice kind of like cool down in a different kind of way where it's just like not, I guess, like as big as like some of the other tracks. Just kind of a nice kind of like transition to like the next session of the album.
I have a question for you as a drummer.
Yeah.
Do you use any of these tracks to practice
I have
or warm up?
But I probably should because I feel like they'd be a lot of fun.
The whole time I was thinking like, oh man, AJ definitely likes this drum line.
There are quite a few I fuck with.
There's some good ones.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about humanoid / shake it up?
Nah, I've pretty much said my piece. So we can move on next to Endless, which I really like how they play with rhythm all across this album, and Endless is another great example of that. It's just a lot of fun, and even though these songs have like a lot of similar sonic palettes, there's plenty to differentiate them and make them like stand out and like show their uniqueness. I also like how both vocalists blend really well with the inclusion of Blood Orange, having his more high-pitched whistle vocals on the second verse.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice kind of a trade-off.
Blending hard rock and like I guess, did you say the hardcore scene?
Yeah, like hardcore punk is like what they're labeled as.
Like blending that and injecting Latin samba style drum patterns on here. Who would have thought? Like, who would have thought that would have worked?
It's excellent.
It really is. And they do it so seamlessly, which speaking of seamlessly, it flowed from Humanoid.
My God. Yeah.
Which it was so satisfying to like have the tempo like still there and almost feel like it didn't even change songs, but like, oh my God, it's really, really cool. I love how they kept the tempo. I just love like we're 7 tracks in and it feels I was never bored.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that's so cool about this. Like I feel like these little like genre bending choices and liberties they took really helps break the album up, and give each track like their own real identity.
Oh yeah.
Like I can really recall like all these over and over again, and that's what's so fucking awesome.
That's impressive, man. Yeah.
While staying tonally consistent, that's really impressive. The guitars are also just so fucking crunchy on here, and oh my God, this album is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Also specifically here, I really just love how the drums are mixed, just having like different kind of parts in each channel, and just like hearing that kind of plan all the way through while you're listening. That's just such a great choice. And then there's just a little drop at the end, which is a nice, cool way to show like let the instruments just go fucking ham. And then having everything just like end on like that accented ending is so fucking cool as it transitions into the next song.
It is really tight. Anything else to say about it?
Nah, because I'm excited for this next one.
Honestly, me too.
Dude, Fly Again is so good.
Like
such a good song.
As a Rage Against the Machine fan, this like scratched every itch of my brain. Like it sounds so much like their kind of
emulating,
vibe, and I really like it. The guitar lead in the middle of the track is so good. Like they have such creative guitar solos where like it keeps you on your toes without it feeling too out of left field.
Yeah.
Like I like that. You know what I mean?
Hey
Like,
man, I feel it.
they flew again.
Exactly. But the piano to open up this track too.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. That was a really nice intro.
Before it just fucking like punches you right in the face with a dunna 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 dunna.
It's pretty cool. I think this one might be one of the best mixed tracks on this record. I would say.
I would agree. Mm-hmm.
I love the bass line on this one. Also goes pretty crazy, which I do appreciate. Yeah, no, it's a really solid track, man.
I also love those little kind of like accented like guitar licks that like play after like each one of like the lyrical stanzas, like the ba-da-da-da. It just adds like so much more to like the overall feel of the song. And then the still can't feel the hole you left behind is such a good transition into the chorus when everything just fucking drops. It's such an awesome moment. I love that so much.
It's really cool. Wait, sorry. What did I write here? The drum is loud from... I gotta stop typing so fast. Oh my God. Yeah, this track is really, really good.
The drum is loud, man.
The drum is loud from Nachos.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know what I wrote there.
Hey, question of the week. What am I right there?
It's like nachos, but I said NAUCSH.
Nice.
I don't know what I was trying to write here.
They're so loud from Nax.
That's crazy. This track is really, really cool, though. And having piano is always a nice touch for me.
It's also really fucking catchy. It's a perfect midpoint for this album, too.
For sure, for sure.
Anything else?
No, because this next track is also one that I really like.
Next up, we have Alien Love Call. Matt, why do you love it?
This might be one of my favorite tracks. I love how, like, when they commit to the softer sound, this one I think is less crunchy than the other one that was like the breather.
Yeah, this one is very smooth all throughout.
But it doesn't feel jarring. You know what I mean? Like,
it's very necessary for at this point in the album.
It's almost like I kind of compared it to like the tone change up like on the album with Sweetness by Yes.
Is that their debut?
Possibly. Like how that one didn't feel jarring because it felt like they covered like all branches of rock and how rock can also be like soft and stuff like that. But like it's really, really cool because their sound just feels so well established.
Yeah.
No matter what the vibe is. And it doesn't feel forced. That was what I said in my notes.
And I would agree with that 100%. I feel like just having this like basically essentially ambient track.
Oh my God, yeah.
With just like the guitar tones just going crazy and then having just like this very subtle bass drum in the background as just Brennan Yates just wails, just like literally just putting this call out into space.
His vocals sound like so desperate, but like in a good way, in like a heart bleeding kind of way. Like it's so cool. There's
a lot of that lyrically on this album, which is pretty cool too.
I was gonna say, I love the concept of this track too. Like, what's the thing he repeats over and over again in this track?
Can't be the only one.
Can't be the only one. Just something about that really just like kind of gutted me a little bit.
I think we have our first good spoken word, Matt. We have that at the end.
We don't get those very often on the Family album. Want to see something sexy?
Thanks, Dolly. Very cool.
The only time that I want someone to speak to me instead of sing to me.
Exactly. Is if it's Dolly Parton on F1 Trillion.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I'll also say we get a nice reprise of the Mystery Keys. They come back here as they transition us into Wild World, which is dope as fuck.
They do that 2 more times, I believe?
Yeah, on the closer, and then I think another point somewhere later.
I feel like it's either like the penultimate track or like 2 from the closer.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I really like it. It's pretty good.
Very necessary, very vibey. I dig it. Next up, we have Wild World, and like Humanoid, this is just a really fun track. It goes especially hard with that abrupt transition from Alien Love Call. It's just kind of like picks it right back up where it left off, which is awesome.
I do like it. It has like It's Gonna Be a Long Night vibes by Ween with the fucking like those kind of drums and that kind of vibe. I would say like this track is really good. I don't know if it's one of my favorites. Only because there's a lot of great stuff on this album.
Yeah.
Though. Like, I could see it kind of getting, like, lost, not, like, in the mix in terms of, like,
production quality, yeah.
I mean, like, in the mix of, like, the track list, I feel like this one, like, there's so many other ones that I've liked before we started talking about this one and
keep it going. Yeah.
That,
I would say this one and the next one I feel very similar about.
I can see that, for sure. But I still definitely like Wild World. It's very catchy. The fucking double time. I love when the fucking drummer does double time. So fucking awesome, man.
Also
Is it halftime or double time?
Double time is faster, and then halftime,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was doing the right one.
There
okay,
we go.
Cool. I did band in college.
Drums with AJ. New segment.
The new backdoor pilot to our podcast, Drumming with AJ.
Exactly.
I'd watch it.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
Tom should watch it.
Yeah.
It'd be really fun if we had a YouTube channel. You try to teach Tom how to drum.
I don't know if I told this on the podcast before, but I used to have a job when I was in high school teaching like kids how to play drums. So I would use those same tactics on Tom to see if he could pick it up.
But the problem is those are with kids, and with Tom, it's like he'll be like, okay, but like why? That's a really good idea. We get Tom to like take lessons with like really good instrumentalists.
That'd be really funny.
And try to see if he can play instruments. I would fuck with that. That's actually a really funny idea. I feel like he would also really fuck with that too.
Yeah.
Low key.
Because he could make us suffer in the process.
And then we got to make something with whatever he creates.
That's the really fun idea.
Yeah.
Back pocket that one, family.
That'd actually be really fun.
Yeah. But anyway, I think Wild World's pretty fun for what it is.
I would very much agree.
Next up, we have Dance Off. This one I kind of always forget like what it sounds like till I hear it. I think on this like most recent re-listen, I can like recall it specifically on the choruses because they're just really catchy.
God, the cowbell.
It
reminds me of like the instrumental really reminds me of like a mid-career Meatloaf.
Okay.
I forget what song he had. It might be off of fucking Dead Ringer. There's like a track where it's like and like the cowbell's kind of like going constantly.
Yeah. I have to look at the track list to remember.
Me too.
Yeah.
That album's fun, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Things about this track though, I will say.
Yeah.
I actually really like this track.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It's a goofy concept. I like because it's kind of about like competition, right? Pretty much.
I guess.
That's what I took it as, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, like life is one big like dance off. You gotta fucking like
just show your stuff.
Yeah. I think it works really, really well, kind of to the cheeky nature of this band and the album.
Mm-hmm.
I love the usage of like the shaker and the drums with the percussion. It really just makes it, again, have its own identity and make it really feel like a dance rock song too, which it's awesome. And again, a really sick ass guitar solo at the very end, which I really appreciated.
That part rips. I also love how it gets like a little more experimental like during the bridge where you have like the main melody but you have like all these goofy like sound effects and guitar noises that just kind of like bolster the creativity, which is really cool. And also the bass shines like a lot on this album, on this track specifically,
and on the album
in general. Of course, yeah,
it's pretty fucking good.
Next up we move on to another one of my favorites. We have New Heart Design. I think this one's so fucking cool. It's very like 80s new wave in the verses, which I dig a lot. The bass line also goes so fucking hard on this track.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, it's really, really cool. Like it leans more into like sort of the indie rock sound, because I felt a lot of kind of like indie rock at the time, like influence that they were pulling from, but like again, doesn't feel jarring. It's mostly like between the choruses, I feel like, is when they kind of had like the more chill like indie sound,
and then you have your heavy drops on the choruses to keep that energy going.
I didn't think that it could like blend so well as genres, much like the samba and the hard rock.
Yes.
I didn't think that indie rock and hard rock could just blend so seamlessly together. But like, not only do they match in the guitars, but the vocalist also just matches in his performance too.
Where he has this almost kind of like, I don't know, maybe like Talking Heads, like Smith's-esque like delivery in the verses before just like going back to like the metal stuff on like the choruses, just screaming over top of everything. And like the emotion is also very present on this track too.
Yeah.
Like what he's saying. Everything in this track is just fucking awesome. I really love the emphasis on like the guitar picking specifically in the verses too. Yeah. It's such like a cool riff. And the lyrics are also really depressing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I picked up on that, but like, what is the song generally about?
It's just about like being lonely and kind of like, I guess like recovering from a heartbreak. Basically, I guess becoming disillusioned kind of with life. Like when my eyes get blurred, I'm losing my design. In a crowd, I'm lonely all the time.
It's weird. Like even though I didn't listen to the lyrics, like I could tell that it was like sad. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do love this track though.
It's really good.
Again, the utilization of like the more artificial sounding 8-bit drums. I love when people blend that in rock music.
Yeah.
It's very niche, but like there are artists that do that.
And Turnstile is one of them.
Turnstile is indeed one of them.
Next up, we have another one of my favorites. We have T.L.C, Turnstile Love Connection. This one's so much fucking fun. It's like a stim for me.
I could very much see why. Yeah. It's really fun. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's like really, really short.
It's very short, yeah.
I don't have a lot to say about it, but I did. This one like made me laugh, not in like a way that was like, oh, it's so cringy, but in a way that was like, wow, that's so funny.
They're just having so much
clever. I also love I love when bands use their name in like a song and it isn't like shittily done.
Exactly.
Like it's cool. You kind of get like the same sonically of what you're getting before, but like it's cool though. It's cheeky and I really, really like it. It shows how much this band also has just personality.
Yeah.
They're not entirely hardcore, like I guess to the point of them being inaccessible.
Yeah. I really fucking love this track a lot. The verses are really fun. I just love how fast it is playing in double time before it goes into like the halftime break, which sounds, they just go to like this fucking like arena rock bit where the it's so fucking fun.
And it plays into the name so well too, because like Love Connection is just the most like 80s like fucking shitty like
like glam metal band
of all time. It's so funny how they play into it.
And also the I want to thank you for letting me be myself. That bit is so much fun. That's like another like vocal stem. It's just a fun fucking song. I love it so much.
And it's cool that like it holds your attention toward the end of the album.
Yeah.
Which is fucking awesome.
And it transitions into the next track pretty well.
No surprise.
Yes, not by Radiohead.
Not but that no that's no surprise
is. Yeah.
Take that, copyright.
This one, it's pretty short. It's I think the shortest one on the album. Mostly kind of like a setup for the closer. Very low key track, shows off the vocals a little more. It has some like different kind of vocal range and pitch, and a lot more emphasis on the keys and the synths, which is cool. And I think the motif might come back here.
I think because the synth comes back in the very beginning.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. It's a nice like transition song.
This one almost feels like dream pop in like a weird way.
Yeah,
like it pulls from it
totally.
like a little bit, which I think is also really cool. Again, didn't really expect it to work that well, but they surprised me. And I feel like his singing style too was also like so interesting because this is the one where it's like the most different.
Yes.
Which again, it really proves how adaptable he is as a singer.
Because I feel like this is like the only track on here like where he's not like yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very much like a like monotone, just kind of like traditional singing. Next up and last up, we have Lonely Desires. The transition is really cool with the lyrics literally segueing from the last track into this one, which is dope as fuck.
Yeah, I did pick up on that. That was pretty cool.
And I love this one a lot. It's super pop punk, especially with like the accented drum breaks and the wailing guitars at the end of each verse.
Very reminiscent of like 2000s like centric rock.
Devontae Hines, I believe, he's a very nice addition to the album, and his vocals like really embody the desperation that's like stated all throughout the lyrics. The instrumental is super fun. It's a great way to close the album, and it's kind of like a nice distraction from the heartache that's like being spoken about. And here we see the mystery keys again making their return at the very end. Is like you kind of hear the vocals fade out as like the keys fade up, and then vice versa, like all the way till it fades out. It's just a really awesome closer and a great way to end the album.
Very nicely stylistically done.
Yeah.
This is more of a production thing. Like I love the usage of reverb on this song too to make it sound like, I don't know, like I guess how it makes me feel like when I hear a lot of the instrumental and like the singer's vocals like bathed in this reverb, it really just makes me feel like he's like alone and like processing a lot of whatever he's processing, which is cool. Like it's cool that, and I'm not trying to dismiss like hard rock bands or hardcore bands for like any themes that are vulnerable, but it's cool to like get this kind of a feel from a modern like hard rock and hardcore band. Like I've never listened to a hardcore band have so much emotional depth.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I'm kind of trying to say it. But my experience in the hardcore genre is not very expansive. So it's really, really cool. And I think it's awesome that they offer so much, and I can see someone using this as a gateway.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
And it works really well as a closer, both thematically and sonically. Like it's awesome.
It's great.
That guitar riff is really, really cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Such good chords that they use.
Yeah. But that'll bring us to the end of this album, Matt. So what did you think of Glow On by Turnstile?
It was a very pleasant listen.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, I see myself revisiting this album. It's like the perfect amount of genre bending where like it keeps you on your toes. Each track is very memorable for their own reasons, whether that's like drum beats or guitar effect choices or vocal choices. I think I'm gonna have to go back and really like look at the lyrics and stuff like that, because it seems like they have a lot of great material there too. Yeah, I was not bored like at all with this album, which is always a plus.
Yeah.
It's paced really well. It gives you the right times to breathe, like at just the perfect moments. And like, there's like nearly no misses on this album. I was telling my coworker that really likes Turnstile and this album, like today, like there's like borderline no misses on here.
Yeah. I feel like there's no bad track on here whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
It's just like there's just tracks that outshine others, which is like a pretty good compliment.
I think it's also a matter of like, much rather than like, oh, this is the weakest track on the album, it's more like just subject to taste.
Oh, yeah.
Because
totally.
they offer so much, like, it's just a matter of what you like more, what you don't like more. And if you like everything, that's pretty fucking cool too.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see someone liking everything too, but like, I think that's the cool thing about it. None of these tracks, even though there's some that I clearly like Don't Play, Underwater Boy, Holiday, Endless, Alien Love Call, like Dance Off.
Yeah.
I very much like those tracks, but the other tracks aren't because I find them to be like weak. It's because just stylistically, I think they're really, really cool.
Yeah, they're giving like more what you're looking for in music.
But in this grand pool of this track list,
Yeah.
I think it's really like there's so much to offer, and I think it's just a matter of like which ones you want to take with you. So I would say this is a pretty certified listening experience.
Oh shit.
And I'm gonna give this. Ooh, I want to give this like either an A+ or an A-.
All right.
I don't know. I very much think highly of this album. So like, I don't know. I feel like I could definitely put it like A- for now, but I could see it very much going up.
All right. Well, that's good to know, man. I'm glad you liked it.
It was really cool.
Yeah. So I guess no surprises. Friend of the podcast, Ben, is the one who showed me this album.
It's very Ben coded.
Yeah.
I did immediately think like, yeah, Ben definitely listens to this.
For those who don't know, Ben is in a metal band called Obsolescence. So he showed me this, and this has kind of been a little bit of a gateway into getting a little more into that scene.
At time of recording, I'm actually wearing his band's t-shirt right now under a hoodie.
Oh, nice. That's imperative that everyone knows that.
It's imperative that people know that I wore it to work.
I'm sure he's honored wherever he is.
Fly high, King.
He's not dead. He's just in Delaware, which is the same thing.
Practically, yeah, exactly. He might as well be. Anyway, H, I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. But this album just fucking rips so hard every time I listen to it. Like, Turnstile is super creative, just blending so many different musical elements with their hardcore sound perfectly. Like the samba breaks on Don't Play and Endless, the ambient ballad of Alien Love Call, and like the new wave intro riff on New Heart Design. Like, the list just goes on with just like all these different genres they play with and how they blend perfectly with their sound so well. Musically, everyone's just giving it their all, bringing so much energy that colors every track beautifully. The guitar riffs on this album have no right going as hard as they do.
Or the tones.
I know. Like, the production on this album is fucking insane. It conveys like such a wide range of emotion and performing some outright disgusting breakdowns that you just can't help but move to. The extra instrumentals also add so much flavor and really lean into the genre blending that makes this album so great, with the highlight going to the mystery synth motif that just appears all throughout, and just as well as the grand piano that appears on a few tracks as well. Vocally, Yates is excellent for this type of project. Like, while loud, it's not harsh. His delivery is very clean and clear, allowing the lyrics to fully breathe and the emotions to be conveyed perfectly. This album is also just really fucking catchy. There's so many amazing hooks that just get stuck in your head or just become stems. Like the Still Can't Feel the Hole You Left Behind on Fly Again, So I Can Never Feel the Cold on Holiday, and the Oh Yeah, Boom 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 on T.L.C. Overall, this album is an excellent introduction into hardcore that beautifully mixes its core sounds with influences that fit surprisingly well and always serve as an enthralling listen. So I'm going to give it a solid 8 here.
Hell yeah.
Quite love this album.
You know, it's really great to have an episode where both of the albums that are brought are like unanimously liked, because that was a great listening experience. I cannot wait to listen to it again.
Hell yeah, man.
Maybe I'll listen to it as many times as I've listened to this album that we're about to talk about.
Oh, shit.
Because let me tell you, Heard Noises by Matt Berry. I'm pretty sure I've listened to it, if I'm counting correctly, 18 times.
That's wow.
Dude. I love this album so much. I will have some Matstery for it, without a doubt.
Good stuff.
But
shall we hop right in?
With some history?
Yeah.
I don't know why I pointed at you like that.
So some history?
With some history.
Yeah, that's your iconic history point.
That everybody has seen since season 1.
Exactly.
Guys, imagine me doing like the coolest point I've ever like conceived.
Draw some fan art and then send it to Matt's email.
Yeah, please send it to my email. I've said it many times. You know what it is. Oh my gosh. Well, Heard Noises was released on January 24th of this year, 2025, for those who don't know, through the East London label Acid Jazz, and is the 11th studio album under the name Matt Berry. Personnel includes Matt Berry on vocals, acoustic guitar, ARP synthesizer, bass guitar, electric guitar, Farfisa organ, Glockenspiel, Hammond B3, Mellotron, Mini Moog organ, Vox Continental, Wurlitzer, xylophone, Yamaha keyboards, production. He did the production, mixing, engineering.
Wow.
Cover art, paintings, photography. Oh, wait, never mind. I skipped. Oh, wait, no, he did do that part.
Okay.
But Craig Blundell did the drums.
Thank you, Craig.
And then Mike Thorne did the mastering.
Nice.
For some reason, it lumped it into like one giant paragraph, but like it kept commas.
Gotcha.
So I was like, he did the Craig Blundell.
that instrument everyone knows and loves. Pivotal for the Eagles' success in the 70s.
Oh, man. Put in the comments if you've ever done the Craig Blundell.
Yeah.
Sounds like a dance. Put in the comments what you think that is.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was self-produced by him, by actor, writer, musician, and producer Matt Berry.
That's pretty impressive. I didn't know he did that much. That's really fucking cool.
And only the drums he didn't do, which is insane.
Mm-hmm. Good for him, man. Like, I think celebrity music, like outside of musicians, is definitely a rarity to find like good stuff in.
It's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
I can only think this guy and Steve from Stranger Things. He does music under the name DJO.
Gotcha.
At Joe. This is how you pronounce it. And he's very popular with the people.
I see. Well, good for him. I've never heard that. I've also heard like Ryan Gosling's music is actually pretty good too.
He makes music.
Yeah. Apparently it's pretty decent.
I hear Jared Leto's music is also pretty good.
That's a lie.
Elijah Wood actually said so. It's a lie.
That's true, yeah.
To cap off the history with a little bit of like background about this album and what it's all about. This album's themes range from past relationship, contemplation, as well as an examination of the younger, more free-spirited self in comparison with the version of him today. With lyrics mired in a little less absurdity in comparison to his previous albums, Berry seemingly talks about wanting to run free and follow his passions in his wishes to ascend to higher artistry, while also putting into question whether or not he was in a better place before or after he went into the entertainment industry.
Interesting. I think that's actually kind of cool because like the music really reflects that.
I would say lyrically and also just like it's so far out. Like,
totally.
The psychedelic vibe on this is so cool.
It's like almost kind of like a retro tribute album with like the way it's produced and just the overall sounds that encapsulate this album.
You know what's so wild to me though? I was trying to look up critical reception on this album. I didn't find much, but on Reddit, this dude said that this album was a letdown for him in comparison to the other Matt Berry projects.
Interesting.
Which, I'm going to be honest, I like Witch Hazel. Like, I enjoyed it when I listened to it like a while ago, and I love Solo. That's like my favorite Matt Berry song, or at least before I listened to this album, which a lot of these are definitely my favorites now.
Yeah.
I think this is like the best thing he's put out in years, because I tried listening to other albums of his and I really couldn't get through it. I don't really know why. I can't like explain why I couldn't get into it. But this one, like from start to finish, when I first listened to it, I was like, oh my God, wow. This album, for a little bit of Matstery, was found in a fit of desperation because I've been trying to keep up with the music fads due to a certain incident that happened on the last family meeting of 2024, a certain Chapel Roan incident
Yes.
where I thought her album came out in 2024.
The bite of 2024.
The bite of 2020. The Roan of 2024. What's that? Not to be confused with the tomato debacle of 1967. We have a lot of canon events on the family album.
Yeah, listen to our best and worst of 2024 and our Tommy's album, Sgt. Pepper's, to get those references.
Both will entertain you for better or for worse.
Yes.
But I remember this is when my job was starting to pick up and I got like hired full time and like my schedule was about to be busier. I was like, God, I gotta keep up with the music. I was like determined to like squeeze album listening time in anywhere I could. So right before I went to bed, I threw on this album and I was like, wow, yeah, okay, it's pretty good. Hopefully I have stuff to say about it. And then like each track just kept like wowing me with each listen. Yeah, no, this album is awesome. I'm about to order it on vinyl and it's very much in competition with a few other ones to being like at least in the top 5.
Yeah.
I've consistently come back to this album. 18 might have been a little bit of a stretch when it came to how many times I've listened to it, but like
it's a lot.
It's in the teens. Yeah. Definitely it's in the teens.
Damn, that's pretty impressive.
I love this album. I throw it on whenever I'm like in a bad mood, or not like specifically in a bad mood, but if like I need a pick me up.
Yeah.
Like this is like my go-to.
It's pretty perfect for that specific purpose. A lot of cheery stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess without further ado, shall we hop right into it?
I think we shall.
All right. This album opens up with Why on Fire. And much like Mystery, this is a great opener for this album. It very much sets the tone, especially for just like, I don't want to say concept, I guess like overall vibe this album kind of brings.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really notice this until I took my notes for this album, but the way this album is produced is like, it's like all in stereo.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking cool.
It is really, really cool.
Paying homage to that like late 60s, early 70s kind of influence. And it also just adds like this layer of charm to the entire project.
Oh yeah, I would definitely say so. This track features a guy by the name of Eric D. Johnson, who is a American singer, songwriter, and composer, and multi-instrumentalist.
Gotcha.
He was in the Shins.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Good for him. And I was with Matt Berry.
The Shins they're a pretty cool band. I highly recommend getting into them. They're kind of in like the new modern dad rock, because dad rock has had many definitions over time.
Yeah.
It's a very derivative genre of music. Or not even genre, subsection of like,
a genre of music.
No, literally.
Yeah.
Because remember when dad rock was like
post-grunge, fucking Nickelback, Creed and all that shit?
And then at one point, dad rock was fucking like fucking Van Halen. Like it keeps just like
going up another like layer of like decades.
It's crazy to think that dad rock is so all encompassing that Nirvana and fucking Queen are in the same realm.
Yep.
Because they very much are not in terms of their music writing or sound. So,
but it's like the people that listen to do it when they were kids or dads now.
And the Shins, new modern dad rock.
Hell yeah.
In terms of Why on Fire, it's a great opener and trendsetter for the album. The flourish of Matt Berry's vocals, which complement the instrumentals so well. It's a unique voice, but it never feels like tiresome to listen to.
I'll also say it's cool hearing like a more, I guess, like less exaggerated kind of vocal performance, because I've only listened to Witch Hazel before this album, and he speaks with almost like a kind of high-pitched kind of vocal styling on that album.
Yeah.
So hearing like his more natural tone, I actually really appreciated here.
I mean, on So Low, that song off of Witch Hazel, it straight up sounds like he has like a pitched up
like
thing.
a filter.
I like it, but at the same time, it's like, it's cool to kind of have it more like
natural. Yeah.
Maybe his singing style has always been like higher than his speaking voice. So maybe it's just like with age, he just kind of like
brought it down.
Still sings a little bit higher, but like not as
exaggerated.
High. Yeah, or exaggerated. This whole album just sounds like So Low to me, and that's probably why I love it. But on this track though, before I get ahead of myself, the usage of the piano as like a counter rhythm for like the drums is really awesome.
The drum work on this track is excellent.
The drum work on this album is just really fun.
Craig
Blundell.
Craig Blundell. Yeah, he flies all over the kid on this album, and he's fantastic.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But I love how this lays the point on that we're getting to something really psychedelic. And I love how much his vocals fit the style, especially as like they're building up to like the next verse where it does the like that shit is so fun.
It's very, very fun. I also like how they kind of foreshadowed like the more like creepy, almost supernatural elements that pop up on this album with the backward vocals at the very end is really cool. And I like how they pan through the channel as well. It's like the kind of like horror undercurrent that's under here is like also really cool and like another kind of tribute to the 60s, like the Doors, kind of like what they were doing back then.
There is a nice like sci-fi like kind of side tangent that this album takes. Well, it directly takes it with one of the songs, which I'm very excited to talk about because it's one of my favorites. But we can get there when we get there. We got to go to this next track, which I am very fond of, called Silver Rings.
This one's really fucking good.
It's sad. It's a recent bop, but it's so palatable at the same time. I love how like he sounds defeated, but like not in his performance.
Yeah.
Like, or really in his effort, I should say. Like, he just sounds really, really sad. He's like, give it back to me. And I'm like,
put my head.
And the drums are just so fitting for it too. Like, keeping up the energy, but it's not like stealing the show where it distracts from like the meaning of the song.
It feels like almost like a mix of the Monkees and the Beach Boys, but like those vocal harmonies and just like the overall like psychedelic feel.
I could definitely see the Monkees.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt.
It has like this very classic feeling to it that's just like a joy to listen to. I also really like the little flute break that happens during the bridge. Like that's super sick and a great way to like diversify the sonic palette. I also really like how the snare sounds like all across this album. There's like just like the tone of it is just very satisfying in terms of like what it's going for on this album.
What if it was recorded in a wood room?
Just to keep it more traditional?
It could have been.
I guess we'll get there when we get there.
I wonder if there are any videos about like the production of this album.
I'm not sure.
I'd be very interested to know.
Yeah.
There isn't a lot of information or anything that he talks about with this album. But I think largely this album kind of speaks for itself though.
Yeah.
In parts.
Underrated for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. I hope it gets more love as the year continues to go by, at least on Metacritic, because you're kind of slacking, not gonna lie.
Album of the year, they rated it decently, like in like the mid 70s.
Metacritic was like the 80s.
Oh, okay.
At least last time I checked it.
Gotcha.
It's interesting that we do two different ones.
Yeah.
At least we're covering all bases
Exactly.
as critics on the Family album.
Yes.
It's insane to me that, one last thing, it's insane to me that Bad Bunny's album is higher than this.
That's unfortunate.
It's consistently been at 90 we're going on 4 months now.
Yeah.
Which is upsetting, and I will not accept that. Yeah, no, I love the drums, and I love how it really like keeps carrying the 70s motif.
Yeah, just really, really good follow-up.
It's time to go to the third track, though.
Yes.
That's the interlude.
I think this interlude is fine.
I think it's my favorite of the two.
I think I prefer the second one, if I'm being honest.
I can also see that. I think like I personally like a lot of the sci-fi sounds, but I can definitely see them being a little fatiguing with the like all that fucking shit.
I think I just more so prefer like the funk influence on the second one.
Oh my god, yeah, that is very true. The funk influence. I don't want to. I'll save it. I'll save what I said, but I said something kind of funny.
I think it's like a very fine interlude. There's some nice, cool instrumentation as well as just piano work.
Yeah,
and I love the inclusion of like the orchestral elements on certain tracks as well. Like the string section is super nice. And also I do really like how it gets very spacey towards the end.
It is really fun. It's very like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like fucking Buzz Lightyear coded.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? Just the spaciness and just the overall like space noises.
It's giving Space Ranger.
Yeah, it's giving like the fucking Randy Newman like space things are happening. Like something about it. I always think about that for some reason with this song.
That's funny.
Which is funny because then I never listened to that song. Oh, Randy Newman.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? That weird noise, family heads, by the way, at the end of my sentence before AJ started telling us more of his notes, I was drinking a drink and then air blew into my straw.
Oh, that's good to know.
So if you're wondering what the fuck that was,
I will have amplified it previously in the track. So
much like our stomach gargling, we're going to amplify it.
I'm sure you guys love that so much. It's great.
I think the worst one was definitely on that Tom Hates albums.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
I'm going to give it a 5. That's crazy. But I don't have much more to say about it.
It's an interlude. It does set up the next track really well, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that is Be Alarmed, the fourth track of this record. I love how it almost feels like just a continuation of the interlude, but it definitely does start to differ as it sounds like more atmospheric than like spacey.
It's almost like this kind of ominous tone.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's this like very creepy undercurrent that has like these like super low frequency keys that like open the track up. Also like the auxiliary percussion kind of adding to that tone as well, with like the chimes and the gong in the background, and like something that sounds like almost nail scraping on metal, and the reverse synths. The song is pretty creepy and very psychedelic, which I dig a lot.
I guess we are supposed to be alarmed, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I definitely think it could have benefited from being like a little shorter, because it's like 5 minutes, almost 6.
It was one of the longer ones, yeah.
Yeah. But I also think it works for the album's runtime, because like I think this album is pretty decently paced, with just some fat that could be trimmed possibly.
I would agree.
But I do love how his lyrics are like sparse yet effective.
Yeah, like I did highlight one, the I should be alarmed, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Just like whatever issue he's dealing with, it's just like he's kind of just grown complacent and doesn't want to deal with it. I also really dig how like it's very atmospheric in the first verse, but on the second one you have the drums that start coming in, which are like super trippy. And then you have also a little flute,
which
another flute bit.
We do love a little bit of flute.
But I think this one is pretty cool. I think I will agree with you that it could benefit from being a little shorter, but it's pretty solid.
I would agree.
This next one, though,
is my favorite track on the album.
I think it's my favorite as well.
It's called I Got a Limit, featuring Kitty Liv. And oh my God, this is the one I play all of the time.
It fucking rules. It's so good.
Just the fucking like... Because first you got the fucking like game show sounding dun 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 dun. It's so good.
It's great.
Oh my God. Like it sounds like fucking 70s game show. Like we're gonna spin the wheel. Dun, dun, dun. It's a really good time. Like the sentiments of the song, if for those who probably don't know, it's pretty much just about a guy who's like, I guess, leading on this girl and can't really decide what he wants in life, and is kind of stringing her along a bit.
Yeah.
And having the female vocalist really makes that such an effective like execution.
Yeah. It's a really cool like call and response kind of structure, but it works like perfectly for the overall tone.
Just the fucking I am a man and the you are a man. Like it's just like, oh my God. Like
in the blink of an eye went from a 10 to a 5.
Oh my God. It's
Banger
so
line.
good.
Yeah.
I love the bridge of the song. It's like, I guess it's so low. Please don't go.
Kiss my ass.
It's so good. Oh my God. Yeah, Kitty Liv fucking shines on this track.
Yeah, she kills
fantastic. I love how like flashy this overall track is.
This one also specifically like sounds like the most retro to me.
Yeah,
specifically with like the production they put on top of it, or like some kind of filter. It sounds like almost kind of muffled in a way, which like gives it this kind of like vinyl charm to it, which is really, really, really cool. As well as just the overall tone of the opener sounding like a game show. I said that too, or almost like Spy versus Spy kind of.
Oh my God. I forgot about Spy versus Spy.
Yeah, dude.
That bass line is like glued to my brain. Yeah, no, this is like my favorite track on the record.
It's fantastic.
God, like I think I can very much see like the most retro sounding one on this record too. I think it's from like how the horns are mixed, because it sounds like it came out of the 70s.
Yeah.
The amount of times like I played this at work and I've been like, this came out this year, and they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, it did.
It's cool.
It's fucking awesome.
Keeping that alive. I love it.
Yeah, no, this is such a good song. I play this literally all the time. Whenever like my Spotify DJ is like, all right, I'm gonna give you another. I'm like, all right, fuck, I don't got a limit. Yeah, no, I love it. What more can I say? The horns are fantastic.
That they are. They add a lot of flavor and they're very fun. Next up, we have Wedding Photo Stranger. This we kind of go back a little bit more into like the creepy kind of undercurrent with this like very swanky, mysterious groove with a fucking amazing bass line.
It's so cool.
And also a very tom-heavy backbeat.
Yeah. It's like very stumbly. Like I love it. He always has like a few comedic or like absurd like sounding or
conceptual
themed, conceptual songs on his records. And no, I feel like this is a nice like sort of concurrent, like I am Matt Berry.
Yes.
Like this is my album.
This is Laszlo's moment.
New York City. Oh my God. Someone on Reddit said like, this isn't Matt Berry. This is written by Jackie Daytona, which that's, probably.
That checks out.
I don't want to lean too much into that though, because I do think a good part of this album thematically and lyrically is about him struggling with being on like a really popular TV show.
Yeah.
Because I think he found it kind of limiting At least if this is just conjecture, obviously, but when he was saying like in the first track, like there's a chance for me to run and to be free. Unfortunately, my first thought was, shit, is he talking about being on one of the most popular shows that FX had to offer?
Yeah.
Besides like The Bear and
Always Sunny.
Always Sunny. I mean, yeah, it is one of the best ones. I heard the ending was not very good.
I didn't watch it.
And I'm sad. Or at least not like bad, but more like...
Of What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very behind on that show, unfortunately.
I began watching the newest season. I just like fell off.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because it started off really good. Anyway, Wedding Photo Stranger it's just a funny song. Like,
yeah.
I really enjoy it. Just the don't talk, don't say a word. It's not your house.
Second row. Who's that guy?
I'm not high. I like how he has to confirm with himself that he's not high. Because
who the fuck is this guy?
That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. The fucking like clavs on this, like the fucking like E piano or clavinet. It's fucking awesome, man. I love the way it like merges with like the stumbly drums with like this weird rhythm. His harmonies also do like a really nice job where it makes the lyricism pop a bit, especially on like the don't talk.
Yeah,
like
that's really cool too.
As they're stacked up on one another. And it's cool. Like he almost like paints this weird like sci-fi-ish landscape where the bridge feels like you're like hopping dimensions.
Because like the spacey synths kind of come back and like you have these like almost like these muffled vocals in the background that sounds like people are like talking around you while you're just trying to figure this thing out. And also the guitars get like a really nice chance to shine at that point, as well with like an electric guitar solo. And then you have like the acoustic rhythm guitar, like that kind of holds it down in like either of the channels, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool moment. And then the talk box at the very end.
Don't talk.
Yeah.
Like it's like this whole like, oh, it's so cool. It's so wild to me he did like all the instruments himself.
So impressive.
It's crazy. There was a Mellotron, a Wurlitzer, fucking xylophone. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That was so dope.
A Hammond organ is also crazy. I mean, I don't know how there are nerds who can figure this out way better than me. Like I'm a keyboard nerd, but like not like that far into it.
Yeah.
I don't know how the Hammond B3 organ, like how rare that is to get, but like pretty sure it's one of the older models and it's not cheap. So
good for Matt Berry.
He is very proficient at piano. I've seen him play piano live. Not like me there. I fucking wish.
Yeah.
But like I've seen like videos of him playing piano live and like he's very proficient in piano. So it's really cool.
He's a talented man.
Very talented man.
Yeah.
Speaking of talented, he is very talented in making this next song that I really also enjoy.
I would say I agree, man.
It's called Stay on the Ground.
That was a good transition.
Well, no, it wasn't. That was pretty bad. I should have stayed on the ground with that one.
There we go.
I should have just fucking said the name. Oh, man. Who's the wedding photo stranger? Is it me or AJ?
Yeah, question of the week. There are two wolves inside
We're going to show up to someone's wedding and be in the background.
Yeah.
And you have to find us.
Don't smoke. You can't be high to figure it out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Stay on the Ground is a very nice track. I love the bouncy nature of this one.
Yeah, very shuffly too, which I dig.
I like how the chorus is in like a different key than the verses, but I don't think it like is jarring because I usually don't love key changes that much.
Yeah,
especially if they're like frequent. But
it works here.
It does
because they have like their own like kind of like unique like sonic identity, which is very cool in terms of just like I guess overall syncopation and tone.
Oh yeah, and like the instrumental like in the verses almost sounds like a medieval like fantasy kind of thing, which is really cool. And having the two textures of keys between like the E piano and like the regular like standard keys you like can think of in your brain, it's a really nice contrast, especially as like one's playing like one set of chords and the other one's playing like other chords that are like different but complement the first set of chords. It's like really, really cool. And they're playing different rhythms too, which is even more cool.
It's very, very cool. I think I wish the bass was a little higher in the mix on this track specifically, because I do really like what I was doing, but it kind of gets like lost in the shuffle a little bit. But I think it is a really fun song. It's another one of my favorites too. I just really love like how the choruses feel. I love how they have the sprinkled kind of like offbeat ride cymbal beat on the drums, which is very fun. And like the tone like takes like a complete like 180 shift on the choruses from the verses, which is also really dope. Just how they split it in half perfectly.
Oh yeah, no, it's cool. It's just the stay on the ground. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about it?
Nah, just a really, really good track.
The next track is called I Entered As I Came, which...
I tell you.
I was going to say, fellas...
Rise up.
Oh my gosh. This track is more of a spoken word.
Yeah.
Done by Natasha Lyonne, which was not expected at all. She is an actress and voice actress.
I see.
Pretty famous. She hosted SNL for something.
Oh, really?
Probably just hosting SNL. I don't know. I don't know why I said for something. Like you usually have a goal when you're hosting SNL. It's to host SNL.
Yeah, you don't just get Shane Gillis for no reason, dude.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Anyway,
expelled alumni Shane Gillis. That's crazy. Yeah, it's just a nice spoken word because like she's known for her voice because she has like a really, really like kind of like old smoky sounding voice, but she's like only in her 30s.
Oh, really?
Which is so funny.
Oh, wow.
At least I think. I mean, I maybe I can't confirm that.
Hey.
We'll be right back, family. Oh, she's 45.
Oh, I see.
Never mind. But she looks so young.
Oh, we got another one. Oh, she's in the studio. I'm not editing that. Get the fuck out of here.
I entered as I came. I came, but I entered.
I tell you, my wife.
Sorry, wait, no, it's I came as I entered. I came, but I entered. That's a completely different song.
Yeah, that's a Rodney Dangerfield bit.
I came, but I entered. Man, that's crazy. We got Rodney Dangerfield
and Natasha Lyonne. Whoa. Get the fuck out.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Anyway, yeah, this is just like a nice little. I don't even really want to call it an interlude because like
there's like more going on.
It's more like a talking piece.
Yeah,
which it's fun. It's like interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go to Heard Noises to hear.
I wouldn't seek this out besides the album.
Yeah.
I do think it's kind of neat, just like really leaning on the psychedelic aspects of this album, which is very cool. And I like having this one and the last one being the midpoints of this album because it really shows like the dichotomy of this album really well and like what it excels at. I do really like just how out there it is as well, being like this very 60s inspired retro tribute. There's also some really nice instrumental choices with like the bells and the chimes that started off. And it also feels like kind of proggy in a way. Like the flute was giving me Cocoon vibes.
Yeah, I can very much see that off of Lamb Lies Down.
But I would agree that it's a nice piece on the album, but I would never like listen to this like by itself.
I think thematically it's also fun too, because if we kind of hark back to what I was saying earlier about like him looking to his past self in reference and comparison to now, it's interesting when you like take the words in that light, because it's like, I entered as I came as I entered. It's like, he still like feels like the same person as he did when he started his career in the entertainment industry. And it's like so interesting because it's like, have I changed?
Exactly. Is this really me?
Is this really me? Listen, guys, I've been asking the hard-hitting questions.
I tell you.
I tell you. But anyway, yeah, it's fun for what it is, I guess.
And now we kind of approach the stretch where there is good stuff, but like I think my attention starts to waver a little bit.
I can definitely see that. Especially like with the last like 4 tracks. I don't think while I do think they are good, I definitely don't think they like meet the hype as like
what we've
first
heard before.
6. Sorry, 7. But this track is called They Are Monsters. I love the straight funk on here.
For real.
It's
so
really good.
Kind
of a weird story with this. We had to test out the like a bunch of speakers at my work, and they needed like a direct source of like audio. So we have like a work aux. So we took just like whatever was playing on the computer and like put it into like these speakers they were testing out for a show.
Yeah.
And I got to hear more dimensions of this song.
Oh, nice.
Which is kind of cool.
That's pretty sick.
Because they brought out like the mids and I was like, wow, this is really popping. Like those whirly keys, for example.
Yes.
And the wah guitar.
That part fucking rules.
So fucking good, man.
The drums go hard as fuck on this track.
Oh my God, yeah.
Especially when they're combined with the organ solo. And there's also this awesome triplet break that happens right before the guitar solo.
Is that the thing? It's like dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun, dun,
the 6/8 split. Yeah,
that shit is so awesome.
that part's so fucking cool.
I also love the amount of voices like on the chorus vocals because like they almost sound like dissonant in like the amount of harmonies that he's singing, but like it works.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just the fact that there are so many voices and he has such an exuberant voice.
Yes, that shines through.
New York City. Oh, man. I love Matt Berry.
He's a good
awesome.
fucking dude.
He's really cool.
Shout out Dark Place.
And the IT crowd.
I
heard that show was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that this track is really good. I fear that, like, in the grand scheme of the album, I can see it getting, like, kind of getting lost in the mix a bit.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think like the instrumental is really good overall, but like I couldn't really kind of like tell you what it sounded like off the top of my head. And I also wrote that I wasn't the biggest fan of the vocals on this track specifically. I guess like more so with like the layering effects, I just didn't really dig it. But I feel like the instrumental is kind of like good enough to counterbalance that. I think it's fine, but it's nothing that I would like really seek out besides listening on the album.
I get it. I don't really have much else to say. But
And Shall We Live? For What Once Was, Matt?
Yeah. That's what the song's called. To live for what once was.
Exactly.
I like the chorus on this one. This one's very pleasant, but very sad. Like this one, I think this is the one where he starts talking about how he can like picture his younger self, like walking like on the sidewalk, just being free.
Yeah.
In comparison to now. This one also has like a really unique like melody. It's like, dun, 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 dun. Like it goes like really high, like out of nowhere. But it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, just having the more like low key kind of mellow vibe is a nice kind of change of pace.
I also like how it's on the shorter side.
Agreed. And also how it transitions into the next track beautifully.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Also the vibraphone on here is excellent.
That's cool.
I just love how he just makes full use of all the instrumentation that he like brings in and creates like a unique sound for every song. I really love the swelling strings on the second verse that really embody the melancholy that he's going for. And like the lyrical, the free,
but not free.
Free.
Yeah, no. It sounds angelic to me. What was I gonna say? It kind of reminds me of like Silver Rings, like kind of the same vibe, like tempo wise.
I can see
it
that.
feels different enough to have its own like identity, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the effects on the voice because he's talking about seeing his younger self in the old days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I phrased it like that. He like seeing like his younger self and like picturing how he used to just be free. But like there's an effect on them that almost makes it feel like you're either watching a flashback or like listening to his internal dialogue, which I really like.
Yeah.
The bridge is kind of goofy with the key change, but I fuck with it.
Yeah,
It's
I
fun.
agree. This next one I really like though.
Me too. And I gotta be honest with you, it's called Canada Dry. I feel like as much as I like the next few tracks, this could have been the closer.
I could see that.
Low key, like this could have been the closer.
Gotcha.
I'm glad he didn't because I do very much like the actual closer, but this is a very nice, like well-rounded song.
Yeah. It transitions beautifully from the previous track.
That is
Just
true.
very, very natural. The rhyme schemes are like really simple, but it's very fitting for like the type of music he's trying to go for. And also the guitar solo rips so hard. It reminds me of Diener of Ween.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just how crunchy it is. I kind of wish it was a little longer based off of that. The bass line is like really sexy, even if it is like pretty simple. Like everything about this track, I just really dig, and it's short and sweet.
I can see why, honestly. It's named after ginger ale.
And that's the sexiest of all sodas, of course.
Yeah, stomach pain. It's so sexy. Oh my gosh.
It's so cute.
You're so cute. Canada Dry. Drink your Canada Dry. You're so cute. That's what all this.
That's the tagline, in fact.
Yeah, of the album, actually. Yeah. Herd noises. It's so cute. Matt Berry's. Oh, I'm such a weird individual. I like the chorus on the yeah. And then like there's the harmony that goes under it, or sorry, above it. Excuse me. I took choir.
He gets
How
it.
dare I?
He's on the level.
How dare I get it wrong?
He shouts out the Bovine Sex Club.
Hey, what is that?
I tell you. I think it's like a bar I read somewhere in someplace.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
They're taking invitations. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know why I said it like that. I sounded like
Matt, what are you doing to the bovine?
I sounded like the fucking oh god, what's the name of the guy from Futurama? Are they taking invitations?
Is it Zap Brannigan?
Zap Brannigan. I sounded like Zap Brannigan a little bit. Invitations. Oh my gosh. I love how it embodies the surfer psychedelic vibe.
Totally.
It's really cool and just stays really true to like the 70s sounding theme.
Yeah. I got really nothing else. We want to move on.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Next up is The Snakes Will Slide. This is probably like the track that I remember the least on this album.
Yeah, that's literally what I wrote at the very beginning too.
Yeah.
I think I remember liking it, obviously because I can't remember anything like offensive about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like, unfortunately, especially with like the number of tracks, but also the hype that some of them brought in the beginning, it's ultimately forgettable in the grand scheme of the album, which sucks because like it reminds me of the song How Long by Ace, which is just like
fuck yeah.
Oh, you know, actually know the song? Nobody ever fucking knows that song whenever I mention it.
I got you, but that song rules. I think it was on the show Hunters.
How long
has this been going on?
So good.
Loving my yacht rock.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
And this song reminds me of that a little bit.
I think it's like, in a way, like a necessary point on the album, kind of like slowing things down to like an almost ballad-like track. But I feel like it goes on too long, and where it's at on the album, it's kind of like not appropriate.
And it suffers because of that.
Yeah.
I also think there's a section where there's just a lot of things happening, if I do remember. Like, most of the song sounds like How Long by Ace.
Yeah.
But then I remember there's like a section where there's just like a bunch of noise thrown in.
I think it's during the bridge.
And I think I remember just being like, yeah, I like this, but also, I don't know. I also feel like even though this could have benefited from being like earlier in the album, I'm kind of glad it's not, because I feel like it might have disrupted the flow.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's solid enough for what it is.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. Like, it's not good. It didn't make me like revulse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't throw up in anger.
And that happens a lot on the show.
It's when I first heard Loveless, I vomited out of malice. Like, it was terrible.
I don't know why that gave me like the vibes of the fucking Pentatonic Strikes Back, just like the scripted bits. I vomited out of malice.
What did it even sound like? Like so angry. Like,
yo, Clumpy's calling me. Yo, what's up, Clumpy? You're on the podcast.
Oh fuck! Oh wait, you're with Matt?
Yeah.
Am I on? No, actually, no, I'm not.
You're on speaker.
Hi, Matt.
hi, Mike.
God, fucking shout out Clumpy.
There is nobody like Clumpy. I love our friends, AJ.
Me too. They're quite the characters.
These snakes really do slide.
Fucking amen, brother. And they enter as they came.
Trey Davies and Chuck Squirtlett. Yeah, it's kick nuts.
Like, what a throwback kick nuts. All my season 1 heads remember Trey Davies and Chuck Squirtlett.
The two cretins that took over our studio.
Yeah, I believe they died in a drone strike.
Thank God that we moved to the bunker so that like nobody comes into the studio anymore.
Exactly. I gotta say, being underground has its benefits.
Underground. Anyway, that is 70s, which
That is.
also correlates to the sonic theme of this album.
That's a great way to segue us back into the album. Anything else to say about The Snakes Will Slide, Matt?
Not really.
Cool. Then let's move on to Interlude 2, which is a track that I kind of like for an interlude.
Jackbox music, but in the best way.
Yeah, I dig it a lot more than the first one just because of just how much funkier it is with this like really busy drum beat and the accented bass line, as well as having like the oscillating keys that travel through both channels is a lot of fun. And also, Matt, 2 interludes. Who is this guy? M83?
Anyway.
Yeah, interlude 2. That's an interlude. I like it.
It's pretty good.
Shall we wrap up, Matt?
I think so.
Last up, we have Sky High, which I think is a very fun finale for this album.
I think so. As much as I think Canada Dry could have been the closer, I do like this as the closer.
Yeah.
Especially since, like, it does almost like a Beatlesy, like, all the instruments going ham at the end kind of deal, which I do like.
And you got some, like, Beach Boys harmony backup vocals as well, which is dope.
It is cool. It's also like really cheery and like bouncy, which I also like a lot.
A very nice kind of shuffle and just very much overall good vibes to close out the album. I also really like the outro with all like the horn. Like it sounds very grand and gives this album like the proper sense of finality. It's pretty solid.
It is.
I dig it.
The nice little jingling bells is a nice touch.
Yeah.
This song also feels like two different songs like merged into one.
Yeah.
Kind of similarly to fucking the ending of Sgt. Pepper, A Day in the Life.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of what I can like thought of it. Definitely not nearly as grandiose, but like
yeah.
it like kind of reminded me of that, especially with like all the instruments going ham, which is pretty cool. But yeah, solid closer.
Yeah. And that'll bring us to our final thoughts.
AJ, I gave you this album, so
Yeah.
why don't you go first?
Word. For celebrity music, this is definitely some of the best you can get. I was honestly a lot more engaged on the active listen than the passive listen, which is super cool. I actually caught a lot of things that I missed while listening to this at work, like beforehand, because I listened to this album before Matt brought it on the podcast, but him bringing it on actually made me appreciate it a lot more. And Spoiler actually moved up quite a few spots on my 2025 list,
Hell yeah.
which is dope as fuck. But the overall tone of this album is super cool, with it being a retro homage album of the 60s, and also having this like kind of supernatural, spooky undertone, which really appealed to me as a horror fan. I like these darker moments that kind of pull back the curtain of the squeaky clean image of the past, with mystery strangers and wedding pictures, and the haunting psychedelia of Be Alarmed and I Entered As I Came. Instrumentally, this album's sonic texture is beautiful, using a variety of psychedelic and funk staples to create a time capsule of the old days. The organs specifically steal the show and serve this album so well to help it groove immaculately. Vocally, Matt Berry's pretty good. I definitely prefer this vocal performance over his performance on Witch Hazel, as it's a lot more natural, and his deeper, bassier, sultry tone fits the theme of this album perfectly. Production-wise, I say this is where the album could lose some people, as it does stick very true to the homage angle with it being recorded heavily in stereo, but I still like it a lot. It's not like as jarring as say like the Beatles. Like it's still like a lot more manageable and a lot more polished than like that old style of production. But I could see like why certain people might not like it. I still think it's a really nice choice and adds a lot of charm to the album. As I said, it moved up a decent amount on my 2025 list, and I'm genuinely glad we have some good non-musician celebrity music out there. So I think I'd give this either a B+ or an A-. I think it's teetering on that edge.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Pretty just takes, I would say.
Thank you.
This album, I mean, I guess we'll go to me now.
Yeah, final thoughts, Matt. What did you think of her?
I'm not used to going second, even though I asked you to go first. Yeah, no, this album, since the first time I listened to it, since the day it came out, really, it has just floored me with like how much he stuck to the sonic theme, how like kind of humorous yet also like real a lot of the lyrics are. He doesn't really like pull that many punches with his lyricism. I feel like he's kind of direct, I would say, but like it doesn't feel like there's no nuance or anything like that, because the music definitely helps like balance it out. I love just like some of the instrumentals, like on fucking I Got a Limit, Silver Rings. Silver Rings actually had a rehash recently.
I saw.
And I do like that version as well. That one's a bit more of like a chill, like funk kind of groove, like Duran Jones and the Indications kind of vibe.
Okay.
Which I really fuck with. I think this album paced itself pretty well, with the exception of like maybe one or two tracks that could either be cut or like trimmed.
I would agree with that.
Like I think I personally think Be Alarmed could be a little shorter.
And The Snakes Will Lie.
Yeah, I think that one's like mixed feelings for me, because I feel like I'm glad it's on the album, because I definitely could see myself listening to it more.
Yeah.
But I also just feel like because of just how many tracks there are, and also like the hype of just some of the other tracks, it's so hard for it to just compare.
I gotcha.
The snakes are not going to slither up very high. You know what I mean?
Fucking amen, dude.
They're always going to be on the side. That's why.
Yeah.
They can't get anywhere else.
No.
But yeah, no, I think this album does a really good job of just sticking to its both like written and like sonic themes. I really like Matt Berry as a vocalist. I have since Witch Hazel, even though I didn't really like the albums in between this one and that one. I think that that's been one of the drawing factors for me, I would say. And I think honestly, like, no hate to any of his music, I think this is like the best thing he's put out in like a very long time.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that it was like one of my first albums I listened to in 2025. We can tell you the placement if you want.
Oh shit.
this could very well change. We
Yeah.
still got a lot of year
It's
to go
only
through.
April.
It is. It is currently number 2.
Number 2.
It's not gonna lie to you. This and Eusexua have
Yeah,
been like literally
neck and neck.
battling each other in my
gotcha.
brain. Like, oh my god, because that album's amazing.
The Eusexua is my number 3.
Eusexua? I thought it was Eusexua. I guess it could be either way. X is
It's Eusextua, actually. Yeah.
that's wild. Yeah, tune into the FKA Twigs episode of Talk Tua.
Yeah, it's coming up real soon. She did enter as she came.
I don't know why we're promoting it.
I don't know. Don't support. I don't fucking care. Do what you want. But Haley Welch did a crypto scam, which kind of
I
sucks.
keep forgetting that happened.
Yeah.
When are we gonna do our crypto scam?
When we get 60 subscribers. 60 subscriber special.
What are we gonna call our coin?
Fam coin.
Fam coin.
That's so stupid.
That's so sad. We could come up with something better.
Gargunga.
Tom coin.
Tom coin?
No. It's just a fucking NFT, but it's just something of Tom.
Yeah. Wait, man, on the verge of rapping coin. Maybe we acronym it? WMOTVOR coin. What's that spell?
Oh, it's so convoluted. I hate it. But yeah, this album, pretty similar to yours, final ranking wise.
Mhm.
I would say that this is probably A- tier or A+ tier.
Gotcha.
I very much am going to keep it somewhere in between
Yeah.
those. I love this album. I'm literally about to get it on vinyl and digital because I just really like his music.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm very glad that you liked a majority of the album.
Yeah, man. It was definitely very cool. I'm actually really glad that you brought on the podcast so I could re-listen to it because I actually really picked up on a lot of the things that like make it so good. And I'm glad that I could rediscover that and have it bump up to my number 5 of the year so far.
I had listened to so many albums from this year that I wanted to like bring one of the ones that I liked
Yeah.
on, and it was between actually Eusexua was
Gotcha.
going to be another one. Like it was one of the other contenders. I was gonna bring on Sharon Von Etten and the Attachment Theory, but I need to save that for the end of the year.
I
'cause
see.
I fucking love that album so much.
Nice.
But yeah, what a very nice episode.
Yeah, it's cool in a season of shitty music being able to talk about some good stuff.
I wanted to bring on an album that I'm very fond of and that I think is pretty like good, like
Yeah.
standards wise, because on the next regular episode of Family Album. I was about to say Family Meeting. On the next regular episode of the Family Album, AJ is going to get probably, I'd say, the only other album comparable to The Wall, and that is Lines,
Yes.
Pines, and Trying Times by the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, stay tuned. Our next regular episode is our season finale.
That's true.
Our of regular episodes. I
Of
should
regular
say.
episodes, yeah.
So I'm very interested because I'm bringing on Pink Floyd's The Wall.
I wanted to kind of round off this year of shitty music.
Yeah, so I think it'll be a nice encapsulation as season 3 has been a season of Pink Floyd and shitty music.
I feel like we started off with like decent albums,
Yeah.
and then we just devolved into like
Once 2025 hit, it was over.
I think once we got to F1 Shirley, and we were like, "Oh man,
Yeah. So this is the rest of the season, huh?
want to see something sexy?"
Yeah, we got F1 Trillion. We our Bad Album Bowl winners, of course. Metal Machine Music for those who consider it. What else do we do? Cannibal by Kesha, if you want to count that.
We could probably rule out Metal Machine Music. I know I had strong opinions on it because I listened to it all in one go on my
Yeah.
first listen. But like your criticisms are very valid, and I think it's in like a special place.
Yeah.
Kind of in like a similar vein to like the Shags, where I feel
Yeah.
almost disrespectful if I like kind of kept harping on it.
That's valid.
But yeah, no, there definitely have been a lot of
Yeah.
different ones. If you remember from the beginning of the last Tom Hates albums, Tom had made the claim that the latest Chapel Roan song was better than everything we've ever shown him on the podcast, which was by far probably the worst take I think I've heard of 2025.
I would 100% agree.
Not that song is bad,
No.
but it's like Purple Rain.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Random Access Memories.
Listen, I'm fine if he hated that album, but you can't say that the album's better than
Exactly.
Purple Rain.
Yeah,
Or that
that song.
track is better than Purple Rain.
And hey, The Giver, It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think
it's one of the weaker Chapel Roan songs, at least singles. Honest opinion.
Doesn't mean it's bad.
Exactly. It's still pretty good. It's at B tier at best, or B tier at worst.
B tier at best. That's so funny. I still haven't listened to it. I'm pretty sure.
It's fun.
I need to get on it.
She goes country.
I need to get on it, man.
Yeah. She says, "Do you want to see something sexy?" And it's the best thing ever.
That'd be what? She doesn't actually, right?
No, she doesn't.
My compulsive thoughts were like, "Oh God, does she?" This is a new fear of mine.
Starts rocking back and forth on the floor.
Please don't ask me.
I
Please
don't
ask
want
me.
to see something.
I don't want to
sexy.
see it. I don't want to see it. Such an absurd concept. Please don't talk to me. Please. Oh my gosh. Anyway, before this devolves even more, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, it's a fun episode. Again, getting to talk about some good music for a change on this season.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that'll do it for this week's episode of The Family Album. As always, I'm your host, AJ Tenari.
And I'm Matt Glass.
Thank you all for your constant love and support, and we will see you next week for our next guest episode.
Peace!